In March of 2025, I found a leather-bound journal buried beneath the collapsed Cedar Lookout Station in Cascade Ridge National Forest. The pages were water-damaged, the handwriting frantic. It belonged to Ranger Thomas Miller, who vanished in 1974. I thought I was investigating a 50-year-old mystery. I was wrong. Because 3 nights ago, I heard my dead brother's voice calling from the tree line. And now I understand why Miller chained himself to that station. Some things in the forest don't want you dead. They want you to follow. My name is Alex Reeves. I've been a ranger with the Forest Service for 6 years. Last March, I was assigned to Cascade Ridge, a remote sector in northern Washington that hasn't seen regular patrols since the 70s. My job was simple. Inspect the old fire lookout stations, document their condition, recommend which ones to demolish. Cedar Lookout was last on my list. The trail up was overgrown. No one had been there in decades. When I finally reached it, the structure was barely standing. Rotted wood, collapsed roof, foundation slowly sinking into the mountain. I was about to mark it for demo when I saw something in the rubble. A metal lockbox, rusted shut. Forest Service insignia stamped on the lid. Inside, wrapped in a deteriorating plastic bag, the journal. The first entry was dated the 1st of February, 1974. First day at Cedar Lookout. Beautiful up here. Quiet. Sarah would have loved this view. Miss her and Emma every day, but the solitude helps. Radio check-in at 0800 and 1800. Standard fire watch rotation, nothing out of the ordinary. Thomas Miller, age 41, widower. His wife Sarah had died 3 years earlier. He'd requested the most isolated posting available. The early entries were routine, weather reports, wildlife sightings, maintenance notes. Professional, methodical, normal. Then, on February 18th, the tone shifted. Heard something strange tonight. Elk calls, but wrong. Can't explain it. The pitch is off. The rhythm doesn't match any species I know. Came from the ridge above the tree line, where nothing should be active in this cold. February 20th. The calls again, closer this time. Recorded them on my tape deck. Played them back, they sound almost human. Voice echo patterns suggest intelligent mimicry. But of what? And why? I should have stopped reading. I should have turned the journal over to the archives and forgotten about it. But I kept going. February 24th. Found something today, 2 miles north of the station, above the Timberline where nothing grows. Stone circles, geometric, deliberate. At least a dozen of them arranged in a pattern I can't decipher. They weren't on any survey maps. They weren't there last week. I checked my photos. Someone or something is placing these stones. Miller began documenting the circles obsessively. He drew maps, took coordinates, hiked out to them every day. March 1st. The stones are moving. I marked the positions yesterday. Today, they've shifted 3 feet clockwise. All of them, as if the entire pattern is rotating. I'm not crazy. I measured twice. March 3rd. Saw movement in the trees last night. Bipedal. Wrong proportions. Too tall, too thin. It watched the station from the ridge. When I shined my flashlight, it didn't run. It just retreated. Slowly. Like it knew I couldn't follow. His handwriting was getting worse. The letters jagged. Pressing so hard the pen tore through the paper in places. March 5th. Heard Sarah's voice. That entry was only 3 words, but the next page was covered in frantic scribbles. It was her exact voice, calling my name from the forest. Tom? Tom, where are you? I ran outside. Nothing there. But I heard her. I know her voice. 3 years dead, and I heard her. I contacted the Forest Service archives, asked about Miller's case. They sent me the file. Thomas Miller was reported missing on the 16th of March, 1974, when he failed to make his evening radio check-in. Search and rescue found the Cedar Lookout abandoned, no signs of struggle, no blood, no body. The case went cold until 2019. A group of hikers found skeletal remains 3 miles northeast of the station. Forensics identified them as Miller's through dental records. Cause of death, exposure, and unexplained cranial trauma. The official report noted something else. Miller's left wrist still had a rusted iron shackle attached. The other shackle was broken. He'd been chained to something. Then he'd broken free, or something had broken him free. I had to see it for myself. Last week, I hiked to the coordinates Miller mentioned in his final entries. The stone circles were still there, weathered, covered in 50 years of moss, but unmistakable. Geometric patterns, dozens of them, spread across a clearing above the tree line. I photographed everything, took measurements. They weren't random. They were warnings. Each circle was slightly different variations on the same pattern, like different people had tried to recreate something from memory. Or like multiple people had tried to leave the same message. Stay away from here. I found the ancient cedar Miller described in his journal, hollowed out by lightning or disease, big enough to stand inside, and carved into the interior bark, deep and deliberate. The mimics hunt at thaw. Do not answer the voices. Chain yourself. Below that, more carvings, dozens of them, names and dates going back to the 1950s. Other rangers, other victims, all warning about the same thing. At the base of the tree, I found them. The shackles, 2 pairs, heavy iron, one set rusted and broken Millers, the other set intact, as if someone had left them there for the next person who'd need them. I brought Miller's journal back to my station. Read the final entries by lantern light. March 10th. I know what they are now. I've seen them up close. They wait in the canopy during the day, motionless, frozen, camouflaged. They look like birch trees, white bark, black markings. But at dusk, when the temperature rises even slightly, they move. They're tall, 7, maybe 8 feet, but hunched, limbs too long, joints that bend wrong. Their faces, God, their faces are almost human. But the mouths split vertically, not horizontally. When they open, you can see rows of teeth going back into their throats. Eyes are solid black, too large. No whites, no pupils, just black. March 11th. They've been watching me for weeks. I understand that now. They study you, learn your voice, learn the voices of the people you love. Then they use them. Perfect imitation. They access your memories somehow, I don't know how. But they know Sarah's voice. They know Emma's laugh. They know exactly what to say to make you come to them. March 12th. Found the source tonight. There's a cave system beneath the ridge. The stone circles aren't made by the creatures. They're made by victims. People who escaped. People who tried to warn others. Each circle is a map pointing away from the caves. But they look ritualistic, evil. So people ignore them. The mimics are smart enough to let the warnings stay because they don't work. March 13th. The calls are constant now. Sarah's voice, Emma's, my father's, people I've loved and lost. They know all of them. I can't leave the station. If I step outside after dark, I'll follow the voices. I know I will. So tonight, I'm using the shackles I found in the cedar, the ones left by whoever came before me. I'm chaining myself to the support beam. It's the only way. March 14th, 1974, Miller's final entry. The shackles saved me last night. I chained myself to the station's support beam when I heard Sarah's voice calling from the tree line. My wife, Sarah, who died 3 years ago. It sounded exactly like her. The chains held, but I could hear them circling the station all night, mimicking her screams, then my daughter's laughter, then silence. Worse than the sounds is what I saw at dawn, the things that made them. They're not animals, they're not human, they're something that learned to be both. When the spring thaw comes, they'll be able to reach the lower trails. Whoever finds this, the shackles aren't to keep you in. They're to keep you from walking toward the voices. Once you hear your name, you'll want to go. God help me, even now I want to go. The entry ended there. 3 days later, hikers would report him missing. And 34 years after that, they'd find his body 3 miles from the station, with one shackle still on his wrist. He'd held out as long as he could. Then he broke free and walked into the forest. I should have left it there, filed the journal, marked the area as hazardous, moved on, but I couldn't. Because last month, I was reviewing 2026 satellite imagery of Cascade Ridge, and I saw them, new stone circles, appearing in areas that haven't been surveyed in 50 years, close to the popular trails, closer to the campgrounds. The temperature data showed something else. This year's spring thaw started 3 weeks early, and it's been warmer than any year on record. The mimics are waking up, and they're spreading. 3 nights ago, I was at my station, filing my report, drinking coffee, radio playing softly, and then I heard it. Alex, my brother's voice. Danny died 10 years ago, fell through ice on a winter camping trip. I was there. I heard him call for help. I couldn't reach him in time. And now, I was hearing his voice again. Alex, Alex, where are you? I'm cold. Help me. I stood up, walked to the door. My hand was on the handle, and then I remembered Miller's words. Once you hear your name, you'll want to go. I stepped back, locked the door, turned off the lights. The voice continued for hours. Alex, please, I'm scared. I'm so cold. Come find me. It knew exactly what to say. It knew the last words Danny said to me. Because somehow, during my trek to Miller's Hollow, it had been watching, learning, waiting. The shackles from Cedar Hollow are in my truck. I brought them back, told myself it was for documentation, but I know the truth. I brought them back because I knew I'd need them. Tonight is supposed to be the coldest night of the week. Then tomorrow, the temperature spikes again. The thaw continues. And every night, the voices get closer. Last night, Danny's voice was right outside my window. Tonight, I'm going to use the shackles. Chain myself to the desk. Ride it out until morning. Miller lasted almost 2 weeks. But Miller wanted to hear Sarah's voice one more time. And God help me. I want to hear Danny's voice too. I want to tell him I'm sorry. I want to save him this time. Even though I know that's not Danny out there. That's the thing that learned his voice. The thing that's been waiting 50 years for someone else to make Miller's mistake. I'm writing this now. 11:47 p.m. If you're reading this, you're either Forest Service doing an investigation or you're another ranger who found this journal the way I found Miller's. If it's the latter, listen to me. Don't go to Cedar Lookout. Don't investigate the stone circles. Don't try to find the caves. And if you hear someone you love calling from the forest, someone who shouldn't be there, someone who's gone, don't answer. Don't go to them. Chain yourself if you have to, because Miller was right. The shackles aren't to keep you in. They're to keep you from walking toward the voices. And once you hear your name...
Alex, Alex, I can see your light. I'm right here. Please, I'm so cold.
I understand now. Miller didn't fail because the shackles broke. He failed because he wanted to hear Sarah's voice one more time. Just one more time. And the thing about the mimics is, they'll let you hear it. Over and over. Until you can't resist anymore. The shackles are on. The chains are locked. But Danny's voice is right outside the door. And he's saying exactly what I've needed to hear for 10 years. It wasn't your fault, Alex. I forgive you. Just open the door. God, help me. I believe him.
There you are. I've been waiting. Come on, follow me.
Cedar Station, this is base. Missed your evening check-in. Please respond. Cedar Station, do you copy?